Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we've been seeing a lot of people just will not leave us alone. We talking about us as, FBAs. They won't leave us alone. And one culprit that we keep running into is, I don't know what it is with some Black British people. I don't know what it is with them. They always making podcasts about us, talking about this, that, and the third. We don't be saying nothing about Black British people at all. We ain't talking down on them. None of that. But every time you look up, somebody's making a podcast about FBAs. Case in point, I want y'all to check out this video. And even the title of the podcast is just like, can y'all just leave our culture alone and just work in your culture? Let's go ahead and check that out.
What is American food? But if you think about that, it's the influence from the Africans. That's what
other communities,
other communities. Yeah. But it is the influence from that. But because they want to separate themselves so much from that, where do you think this comes from?
And I think there's a misunderstanding to what they don't understand that they don't understand that we have our own version of soul food. And though we call it, we might say it's African food or Nigerian food, Ghanaian food, Caribbean food, Canadian food, and traditional dishes, we have soul food over here. Soul food isn't exclusive to Americans. We just don't call it soul food. Yeah. But it's about education. If you haven't had these conversations, you're going to ask these questions.
Okay. All right. So let me point this out. Your aunties could never. You know good and well, we the ones over here talk about the auntie, the uncles, whatever the case may be, right? But everybody want to take from out. They'll say that we don't have a culture, we don't have this, we don't have that, but yet sit up here and take our culture. Part of a person's culture is their lingo. I hope you know that. But when they talk about education, that's part of the lack of education they have. But let me get into this. So you say you have soul food. Y'all, when have you ever heard Black British people talking about they have soul food? I've heard them say they make Jamaican food over there, some Nigerian food over there. They eat some of the traditional English, food or whatever too. But I've never heard a Black British person talking about they have soul food. And trying to say soul food it's basically that it's pulling like the folks. Oh, well, soul food's for everybody. Because that's that I want to colonize your culture. So that I'm going to tell you your culture is for everybody. So it's not just exclusive to you. Right. And I take offense to that. Then also what I take offense to is that she's saying, oh, they want to separate themselves. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Separating ourselves? Let's go on, reel it on back. Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Lies. There you go. This bitch, I'm telling you. Trifling.
Yeah, I had to play that because this female lying. But let's reel it back. Forever, Black Americans, FBAs, have been saying, hey, man, let's work with Africans. Let's work with Caribbeans. Let's be one global big Black community. Africans come over here. Caribbeans come over here, especially. Hey, oh, you from Jamaica? Oh, okay. Oh, you from Nigeria? Oh, you from Mali? Oh, you from these different places? You from Ethiopia? Okay, man. Hey, how you doing? Let's go ahead and work together. Did they want to work together as one big Black community? No. They say they're not Black. They're this, right? Whatever that may be. I'm not Black. I'm Dominican. I'm not Black. I'm Ghanaian. Everybody separate themselves, right? How many of y'all know? We've talked about this. They separate themselves. They don't live with Black folk. They don't deal with Black folk. And then when Black people finally say, okay, everybody's been delineating. We have been the ones that has not delineated. Clearly, nobody wants to unify. They want to delineate, right? They bring that same failed tribalism from their homeland over here, and they won't let it go. So, okay, cool. We understand we're not wanted. We understand we're not wanted. So let's go over here to our communities. Let's delineate just as much as they delineate, focus on ourselves, and work on our community, our issues, our problems. Let's work on that. And then we'll be all good. Then they can be whatever they want to be. Well, here's the problem with that. And let me tell you the big problem a lot of them having with delineation, especially in America. The first thing they can't do is the landfill is closed. Now, what do you mean by we say the landfill is closed? A landfill is a place you go dump your trash. The garbage man pick up the trash. He take it to a landfill, right? FBAs, our community, have been the global landfill, especially with those who immigrate here. When they go rob something, he's black. When they go violate somebody, he's black, she's black. When they're scamming somebody, he's black. But when they get a doctorate degree, I'm Nigerian. When they become a lawyer, I'm Kenyan. When they open their first business, I'm Somalian. So when you commit crimes, you're black. But when you do something positive, it's your homeland. Right? And what FBAs have done is close the landfill. Nobody can come dump their garbage on and negativity on us no more. And at the same time, because the landfill is closed, now the people are saying when the media say black, it's hey, hold on. What's his name? That's not an FBA name. Let's look into his background. Oh, he's first generation. Oh, he just got here 10 years ago. He's not of us, so don't be saying black. Call his community. See, now they have to take their trash along with their positives, like we have to. But see, we was being unfairly dumped more trash on us other than the trash we already got in our own community. We got to worry about our own trash that we got to fix and clean up. But now the rest of the diaspora can't come just dump their trash on us either. Another reason why they don't like delineation. With delineation, you're not fighting for immigration because immigration does not benefit FBAs. Not whatsoever. I'm going to tell you something else what I recently just saw and liked. Trump's $5 million gold card program. Why do I like it? I like it because it would bring in high net worth individuals who can provide jobs in the country. And it can help with the national debt. That's number one. Number two, I'd rather see high net worth individuals come to this country if we're going to immigrate people here than a bunch of people that's poor that don't have anything. Now they're coming to compete for the jobs that FBAs are getting. And because these people are willing to take a lower salary, FBAs don't get the jobs. How many of you have been to fast food and you don't hardly see them black people working in fast food like you used to? But it's a bunch of immigrants, right? In fast food, it's a bunch of immigrants. Why? Because they would take a lower wage. So I'd rather Trump not allow the poor ones over here because that directly competes with FBAs, and let the higher net worth individuals come over here because they're not competing with FBAs on any kind of level with jobs. Just bottom line. So let them do mass deportations of the ones that's competing with jobs of black people, and let the high net worth individuals come in here on the gold card program. I'm cool with that. I'm actually cool with that because high net worth individuals won't get on welfare and food stamps. A lot of these people that come immigrate here, they getting on welfare, food stamps. They're taking money from the city. They getting housing. They get all kind of things that the FBAs can't get because they soaking up everything, right? So with that said, when it comes to the delineation has been a blessing for black people. And a lot of people, some people, not all, but some people in diaspora don't like it. I was like, but how you don't like it when y'all have been practicing tribalism for thousands of years? Why are you trying to tell us that we can't do what you're doing? that you're still doing today in the continent. Today, you're tribal. But yeah, would FBAs say, okay, cool, we're going to just delineate? And that's a problem? Then this woman going to say, our food's inspired by Africa. Ma'am, my ancestors who was enslaved wasn't inspired by no Africa. Yes, we have African descent. Sure, I love going to the African continent. I do. I work with Africans every day in our company. Get along with Africans very well. But ma'am, our ancestors who was enslaved weren't inspired by Africans. They came up with soul food on their own. There was no Africans around telling them how to use the scraps from a slave master and make something beautiful out of it. There were no Africans around for that. The first wave of slaves that maybe came in on the boats, okay, cool, from the African continent. But they wasn't making no jollof rice, fufu, or anything else on the plantation. If that's the case, why? If our food was so inspired by Africans, or let's say West Africa in particular, right? Because a lot of West Africans came here. Why aren't we doing jollof? Why aren't we eating fufu and agusi? Why aren't we doing that? Because if we were truly inspired by West Africans, then we would be eating that right now. A lot of FBAs don't even know what fufu is and agusi soup, and those they don't know it. Why? Because we were not inspired by Africans. No, we were not. We came up with our own dishes on our own. Stop trying to sit up here and claim our culture. That's disrespectful. I'm not going to go claim Jamaican culture because that's not my culture, for one. Number two, I respect the Jamaican people. I wouldn't dare try to claim some of their culture as FBA. I'm not going to go to Ghana and try to claim Ghanaian culture as FBA. That's disrespectful to Ghanaians. I wouldn't do it. But y'all have no problem disrespecting us and our culture. And then when black people here tell you about yourself, oh, you guys are hating and you're a hate group. Like, what? But in your homeland, let me go over there and disrespect your culture. Man, y'all were Voltron up on me over there and say, hey, you're a foreigner. First of all, you're going to call me a foreigner. You're a foreigner and you can't come over here being disrespectful. Respect our culture. It's our country. If you don't like it, well, go back to America. You know good well that's how to get down would be. But I'm not disrespecting nobody's culture. So if I'm not disrespecting nobody's culture, how come you can't respect ours? We're not the group you could dump your trash on. We're not going to sit up here and let you talk down on us. We're going to respond. That's it. It's not a hate. Listen, when you talk about us, are you part of a hate group? Is your podcast part of a hate group? No, it's not. So us responding, it's not a hate group. We just responding to the disrespect. And say, hey, stop disrespecting our culture. Stop disrespecting us. We ain't doing you nothing. We don't even be thinking about Black British people. That's the funny part. We don't even think about y'all. We don't even know what y'all got going on. We really don't. I don't know why are we always the center of attention? Then some of you get jealous of that. All these FBAs, they think they all that because everybody, I'm like, well, y'all the one to keep making us all that. I keep talking about us, making whole podcasts about the FBAs. If you don't want us to be the star of the world, well, then stop making podcasts about us. That's one thing you could do. Focus on Black British people and what they got going on. That's it. You know, no harm, no foul after that. But yeah, all that y'all are you being a hate group because you're responding to disrespect. Nobody's in no group. Just not gonna let you disrespect our culture. That's all. Everybody have a right to defend their culture. Everybody. But every other week you find that somebody in Black British person talking about FBA. Lord, don't y'all got anything else to talk about in London somewhere? Brixton, Manchester. Y'all ain't got nothing else to talk about over there? Just FBAs? My Lord.